Hello friends, welcome to the LeggLife. And some of you will know that here on our channel, sometimes our Sunday videos are a little bit different. They can be cooking related, food related, and that's exactly what this one is going to be, with a little bit of a twist. Because today we are cooking for a purpose and a very specific reason. We have some great friends here in town who are about to have a baby any day. Like, seriously, as I'm filming this, the due date has passed. So it could be any minute. And one of the things that Sherri and I wanted to do to help them was just make some freezer meals. Some things that they can have on hand to take like one thing off the list of things they have to do as they're bringing new baby home. So today I'm actually heading to the store, gonna come home, gonna cook a bunch of stuff, make some freezer meals and deliver it to them. And I thought, you know what? I would vlog and show you guys what the things are that I'm making. So, step one, I've got my grocery list for everything that I need. Let's go to the store. All right, heading into the store. We've got our reusable bags. Let's get our shopping done. All right, so here are the things on our list. Not everything is what we need for these recipes. Some of it's just stuff we need at home, but not a ton of stuff. All right, so we need tortillas for enchiladas. Taco Loco is a local place, so we're definitely getting those. And then over here, I need a tomato sauce and tomato paste. So I'm actually going to get this tomato paste, and then I'm going to do 2 cans of tomato sauce. So I also need foil pans to put these in, and I think I'm going to use this size right here. A lot of what they have are really huge, and then some that are like really small. And so this is kind of a good in-between size. I think this will work. Ground Italian sausage, check. I got a cart full of stuff, and the last thing I need is Parmesan cheese. You guys, let's go home and tell you what the heck we're making. All right, so back home, I got all the ingredients kind of laid out on the counter, separated by meal. We're gonna be making 4 different recipes, and let me show you what we're making. Gonna start over here with a penne and sausage dish. This is gonna be like Italian sausage, cream, tomato paste, tomato sauce, some spinach in there. So just like a nice, hearty Italian dish. Then we're just doing enchiladas. Super classic, super easy, but also like delicious. Love that. And then I am actually doing egg bites for them, because here's one of my thoughts. Lots of people, when they're bringing meals to friends, do dinners, right? Like all of these kind of things. But whoever brings breakfast, and you wake up in the morning, maybe baby's been crying, you haven't gotten a lot of sleep, it'd be nice to have some egg bites. So I'm gonna do like I'm gonna cut up the fully cooked like sausage patties, bacon, just kind of a sausage, bacon, and cheese egg bite. So I don't know, I thought that'd be kind of fun. And then the last one is just something super simple, just kind of these Idahoan, they're loaded potato soups, but I'm gonna add a can of corn to them. I'm gonna add some fresh bacon bits to them. I'm gonna add more cheese to it, just kind of hearty up a hearty potato soup. So a soup, egg bites, the Italian sausage penne dish, and then the enchiladas are the 4 things that we are going to make. So we have 2 of them that will be done on the stove top, the soup and the penne, and then we have 2 of them that will be done in the oven, which will be the enchiladas and the egg bites. So we're gonna kind of do these in shifts, sort of. I think the first thing I'm going to make, just because it has the most ingredients and it will be the most labor intensive, is going to be the penne dish. So still super simple. Let's get cooking. Oh, and I do want to let you guys know, I'm not going to do step-by-step everything. Because I'm making 4 meals, this would be such a long video. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys updates along the way, rather than give you like full recipes on all 4 of these. So now, let's get started. One thing I like to do before starting any recipe is just kind of get whatever prep I can do done in advance, so I don't have to stop in the middle of cooking to do it. Even things like opening cans makes it super easy, just kind of getting things where they need to be. First thing for the penne is I actually got the water boiling over there to do the pasta in, and I'm going to brown up my Italian sausage. I'm making meals for friends that are either having babies or sick, going through medical issues, whatever it is something that we've always loved to do. And it was really interesting because when Sherri got sick in early 2021, it was like the first time that we ever found ourselves on the receiving end of that. We typically are the kind of people like we love to help, but it's awkward to ask for help, right? It's awkward to receive help. But that was a season where life was just so crazy, and to have friends show up at our front door with meals and just like it was one less thing to think about, right? It was one thing in a crazy day that we didn't have to figure out. And so I just remember how helpful it was. So it was cool getting to be on the other side of this. In fact, if anything, it's made me even more like excited and passionate to do stuff like this. I also just love to cook, and so this is one of my favorite things to do. Our Italian sausage is all browned. I took it out of the pan. I've added about 3 tablespoons of butter into that pan. Now I'm gonna melt that down. And then I added that bag of spinach and about 3 tablespoons of my roasted garlic paste. And so now I'm just letting this cook down, get all yummy and delicious. You can see our water is boiling as well, so we're gonna add our penne pasta to that. Next, we're just gonna pour in our heavy cream, and we're gonna pour in about 1.5 cups, 2 cups to that. Give that a nice stir. Then we are also going to add 2 cans of tomato sauce and just a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Oh yeah, you can see this is gonna be creamy and delicious. Now that's all mixed up, let's go ahead and add some Italian seasoning. Just like that. Now we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. Cheese is one of those things you add with your heart, not with a recipe. And then we're gonna mix that all up. And then bring this to a simmer. Our noodles are looking great over here. All right, now let's take our Italian sausage, dump it right back in there. Then we're just gonna mix this in. Holy cow, I don't know if you guys can see this, but like that cheese, nice and stringy and delicious. All right, so the sauce is finished, and I just took a spoon of it up to Sherri and had her try it. And she was like, is all of that for them or is some of it for us? And I told her, all of it's for them, but I can remake it, add it to our menu because it is perfect. If you're familiar with like a vodka sauce, it's got a little bit of that, like the creaminess to it. But with the Italian sausage and the spinach in there, oh man, perfect. All we're waiting on is the noodles to be done, and then this recipe can be finished. All right, penne is finished, dried it off, and now we're just adding pasta sauce to the top of this. I've never made this recipe before. I've made things that are very similar to this, but I've never made this exact recipe before. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be a total home run. And then just kind of give it a quick stir to get it all mixed through there. And then, you know what? We have a lot of sauce left, so we're just gonna go a little bit more sauce on the top, because is there anything worse than like dry pasta, right? Like you always want more sauce than you think. Then we're gonna take some of the remaining Parmesan cheese and just go right over the top. And here's the thing, we have all this left. That will actually be enough for dinner for Sherri and I tonight. So I'm going to boil up some more noodles a little bit later, and we can have this for dinner. But one dinner for friends all finished. Okay, so it is getting hot in the kitchen. I got the window open. I took a second and cleaned up after the first recipe, put things in the dishwasher, so I'm ready to go for recipe number 2, and the next thing we're gonna make are the egg bites. And the reason I'm gonna do the egg bites next is that they're actually going to need to set in the freezer a little bit, because my plan is that after they're cooked, I'm going to vacuum seal them in like the food saver so that they can just freeze them and pull them out when they want them. But since egg bites are like really squishy, I need them to have some like firmness to them before I vacuum seal them. So I'm gonna need to put them in the freezer, so let's get them cooked so we can get them done. I've got my eggs over here all cracked up into there, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut up the sausage patty, these little sausage patties, and the bacon is already ready to go, so let's get these cut up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and put a few just kind of in the bottom of each of these, and then I'm going to add some bacon bits to that as well. So you can see we have bacon in there, you can see we have sausage in there. Now we're just gonna go through and add just a little bit of cheese in there before we dump our egg mixture in. All right, all the cheese has been added. I am whisking the eggs. I've added the cottage cheese in there, you can see. So the next step's gonna be to dump the egg mixture in here. And again, we're not filling these completely because they will rise and we don't want them to overflow and make a huge mess. Now this actually is a brand new pan that we bought just for egg bites. And my plan with these, because there's 24 of them, is I'm gonna give them 2 packs of 8. So I'm gonna do 8, 16 for them. And then the last 8, these will be breakfasts for Sherri and I this week. So let's get this in the oven, get these baking. While the eggs are in the oven, we're going to work on the easiest thing by far that we're making, which is the soup. Again, as I was looking at what to make, I noticed that we had a couple bags of this, and Sherri and I actually really love this soup. And so I thought, well, I can make it a little bit more hearty with just kind of with some bacon, with some extra cheese in there. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's get meal number 3, the soup, going. All right, the soup is looking awesome. I added in a can of corn, I added in a bunch of real bacon bits, and then I added in a bunch of extra cheese. So we're gonna let this cool down for just a little bit, and then that will be finished as well. And look what I just took out of the oven. Oh my gosh, these look so good. These look so good. Now my plan, because obviously this won't fit in the freezer, is to put a bunch of them on this little cutting board, and then I'll slide the cutting board into the freezer. But we're gonna let these set for just a couple minutes, and then into the freezer they go, just to cool them down. All right, so I have 16 of these out on this. You can see those are the ones that we are gonna keep for breakfast for us. Now into the freezer these go. We will check on them probably in about an hour. I'm not looking for those to get like frozen solid. I'm just looking for them to get a little bit firm so that when I vacuum seal them, they don't just like squish into nothing. So cool those down. Soup is all done. Eggs are done. The penne dish is done. Enchiladas is the last thing. I'm going to clean the kitchen, get things picked up, and then tackle the enchiladas. All right, starting the enchiladas, and first thing I'm doing is browning up the ground beef with the onions, with the peppers, and I am gonna go ahead now and just add a little bit of taco seasoning to the meat. I'm also going to add some roasted garlic. I'm just gonna stir that up, let this cook, let the meat brown, let the veggies soften up a little bit, and let everything in here get nice and friendly. And I've shown you guys this before on vlogs, but when I do enchiladas, I always mix the enchilada sauce, half enchilada sauce and half cream of mushroom soup. I love the way that it kind of gives it a creamy enchilada taste. All right, so enchiladas are done cooking, at least the meat, onions, and cheese are done. So here's what I'm doing is I kind of put a scoopful in there, and then I add a little bit of cheese, and then I'm just going to roll this up just like so. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do that until the entire pan is full. And then I've got my bowl of enchilada sauce and cream of mushroom soup, and so we are just going to go ahead and dump that whole thing over it. I'm just go ahead and take a spoon and kind of smooth that out, make sure kind of gets to the edges, you don't have any giant gloops of it anywhere. And then arguably one of the most important parts, the cheese. Again, cheese, we measure with our heart. And look at that, you guys, enchiladas all finished. And then all they're gonna have to do for those is toss that into the oven for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. And that'll be done. Okay, so here we go. Egg bites out of the freezer. This is the last thing we have to do. And you can see I wrote on here sausage and bacon egg bites, and then today's date that I'm recording this. Now we're going to try to vacuum seal these with our food saver. Hopefully this works. So we actually bought the food saver, I don't know, a month ago or so, month and a half, maybe 2 months. And we absolutely love this thing. I wish we would have bought one a long time ago because it's so simple. I'm just gonna kind of show you how it works. We just place one end of the bag in there like so. I'm gonna go ahead and close that, just like that. Now we're going to click it to operate, and then right up here is a vacuum and seal button. And then just like that, you guys, vacuum sealed. Now obviously it did kind of like compact them and squeeze them down, which I expected it to. But when like our friends cut this open, air will go in there and they'll be good to go. Then they just microwave these for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Breakfast is served. So I have 2 other packs of 6 that I'm going to go vacuum seal. Then we're gonna be finished. And just like that, cooking is done. Egg bites all finished right there. You can see we have our soup in our container there. Enchiladas right here. Gonna put aluminum foil on the top of that here in just a minute. And down here we have our penne and Italian sausage dinner. So all of that took me about 2 hours in the kitchen, maybe just over, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, but got a bunch of meals done. And that was the goal today. That was my Saturday goal, and it is finished. So friends, I just wanted to bring you guys along and show you what I was making for friends who are having a baby. In fact, by the time this video goes out, hopefully little man is here. I'm actually filming this a couple weeks early because of how crazy life is gonna be, but wanted to bring you guys along as I make all of this. Want to know, because this is something, again, I absolutely love to do. In the comments below, do you have a go-to meal that you bring friends who are maybe having a baby, maybe having health issues, maybe there's been a funeral or a death in the family, when you need to step in and be kind to friends and family and bring them a meal just to help out, what is your go-to recipe? Because I would love to have extra meals to make in the future. So friends, leave that information in the comment below. And I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen today, and we'll see you on the next LeggLife video.